A very good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I am Rochelle Thamodara. And before we head into our stories in detail, let's start off with a look at your headlines.
University teachers go on strike while GMOA engages in provincial level strike. Indian Finance Minister inspects the LIOC oil tanks in Trincomalee. Rainfall to increase. 39 dengue-related deaths so far this year. 17 Sri Lankans allowed to leave Gaza via Rafah border crossing. Sri Lanka-India clash in the ICC Cricket World Cup today in Wankhede.
Now on to a top story this afternoon. Indian Minister of Finance Nirmala Sitharaman, who arrived in Sri Lanka for a 3-day official visit, attended a special religious ceremony at the Sri Koneswaram Kovil in Trincomalee today. Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Gopal Bagle, Governor of the Eastern Province Senthil Thondaman and several others participated in the event. Thereafter, the Indian Finance Minister also attended the opening ceremony of the State Bank of India branch located on Main Street, Trincomalee. Indian Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also engaged in an observational tour of the Lanka IOC oil tank complex in Trincomalee as well. The Federation of University Teachers Association convened a media briefing today regarding the strike launched by university teachers.
All non-academic trade unions have also joined the strike, so all 17 state universities in Sri Lanka cannot operate. This struggle is not about our salary issue. State universities are facing a severe crisis due to several reasons. The government has gradually reduced provisions and increased the number of student admissions. With the economic crisis that arose at the same time, the government implemented an unfair tax policy. As a result, there is a massive brain drain and non-academic staff are also facing several issues.
The Federation of University Teachers Association is engaged in a nationwide strike across all state-run universities. FUTA spokesperson Charuda Tilangasinghe told Newsfirst that the strike will be against the issues surrounding the tax system and slashing of the funding of state universities. He said that academic and non-academic staff will support the trade union action. This was the situation at the University of Peradeniya this morning after academic and non-academic staff decided to go on strike.
Funds allocated by the current government during the previous budget were not transferred to the university system. In this backdrop, they continue to slash the funds for state education and carrying out a plan leading to the eventual death of the state university system. The university system is protesting against this. We are engaged in a token strike, and if this situation continues and if there is no increase in provisions via the budget, we will resort to strict trade union action.
All academic
and administrative and non-academic staff activities in all universities are halted as of now. The education of the students has come to a complete standstill. The government should be held accountable for this.
The Joint Trade Union Balamandale of the Rajarat University also engaged in a strike action. Newsfirst correspondents said that they stepped away from all operations. Now, meanwhile, the Government Medical Officers Association has decided to launch a provincial-level strike with effect from Thursday, the 2nd. GMOA spokesperson Dr. Chamil Vijayasinghe told reporters that the strike will take place across all hospitals and health service centres in the Uva province on Thursday, the 2nd, and would result in the disruption of daily services. The strike came into effect at 8 a.m. However, it will not impact emergency services, maternity hospitals, children's hospitals, cancer treatment and kidney treatment. The GMOA strike came into effect at 8 a.m. and resulted in the disruption of daily services in the Uva province. The strike was also in effect at the Badula Teaching Hospital. Doctors attached to the Valimada Base Hospital supported the strike and it inconvenienced the patients visiting the hospital for treatments. The first anniversary of the movement of People's Council took place in Colombo with the participation of the members of the Aragalaya and civil activists.
The first anniversary of the Movement for People's Council saw the launch of a book titled State Power, Public Power at the Public Library in Colombo.
The Movement for People's Council had established the fact that we can win through a struggle. We are now on the brink of losing democracy and economic freedom. The government is trying to silence the people. They're trying to stop the people from taking to the streets. We are at a point where we need to build a more broad people's movement against all these attempts. We are aware that for 75 years the economy was led to the brink of bankruptcy. That resulted in the people taking a stand against it in February 2022.
The Frontline Socialists Party notes that the increase in VAT, fuel prices and electricity tariffs has placed a massive burden on the people.
The
cabinet had decided to impose the VAT on goods and services that did not come under VAT before. That includes rice, flour, bread, children's milk powder, ordinary milk powder, liquid milk, spices, eggs, petroleum and related products, mobile phones, educational material, transports and telecommunication services. The government earlier assured that the electricity tariff will be revised twice a year. However, it has reached a situation where the revision will take place daily. They have also decided to increase fuel prices via deception. They have reduced 92-octane petrol by 9 rupees. However, diesel that is used by a majority of public transport and other transport services has been increased by 5 rupees. This has led to a very serious situation.
Now, MP Chandima Virakodi says the pressure that has arisen owing to the hike in fuel prices and electricity bills has reached an unbearable level for the people.
For the people who couldn't survive once the electricity and water bills are paid, the fuel prices and bus fares have also been increased. Even the VAT, which was at 15%, has been increased to 18%. Therefore, the companies have to increase their prices up to 3% in order to pay the VAT. Therefore, it is certain that the pressure on the people created through this is going to become unbearable. When this government took over, 1 kilogram of rice was between 65 to 75 rupees. But today it is 220 rupees. The electricity bills have increased by 440%, so has the water bill. Everything has increased by 400% at a minimum. But in such a backdrop, the salaries have not been increased.
හැම දෙයක්ම 400කින් 4 ගුණයකින් අවම වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ තත්ත්වයක් තුල පඩි වැඩි වෙලා නැහැ. ආදායම වැඩි වෙලා නැහැ.
The Department of Meteorology predicted showers and thunder showers at several places in most provinces of the island after 2 p.m.
Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in most provinces of the island after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and Uva provinces and also in Galle and Matara districts. Showers will occur in the eastern province and in Hambantota and Jaffna districts during the morning as well. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in Sabaragamuwa, central and Uva provinces during the morning. General public is kindly requested to take take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers.
The Department of Irrigation said water levels of the Nilwala and Gin rivers and Attanagalu Oya are continuing to rise. Director of Hydrology and Disaster Management at the Department of Irrigation, Engineer SPC Sugishwara, said people living in surrounding low-lying areas should remain vigilant.
Water levels of the Attanagalu Oya are continuing to rise, so there is a risk of minor flooding in some surrounding areas rising further. People in low-lying areas of the Attanagalu Oya in the Attanagalla, Gampaha, Jayala, Katana and Wattala divisional secretariats should remain vigilant in this regard. Water levels in low-lying areas on either side of the Nilwala River, especially in the Malimbada, Mathara, Tihagoda and Athuruliya divisional secretariats, have also risen slightly. The water levels are expected to continue at the current levels today. Water levels of low-lying areas in the Gin River are also rising. According to the Irrigation Department, it will not develop into a flood situation based on the rainfall experienced so far. However, there is a heavy water flow in the Gin River, so people should practice caution when using this river. The water flow in the Kalani River is also strong. Water levels of the Kuda River of the Kalu River is expected to recede gradually.
The landslide warning issued in several divisional secretariats in 10 districts is still in effect. The landslide warning is in effect in several divisional secretariats in the Kandy, Mathale, Ratnapura, Colombo, Galle, Mathara, Kalutara, Kegol, Kurunegala and Badulla districts. Houses in low-lying areas of Pahalagama and Mottuna villages surrounding Veyangoda are inundated due to the Diyalla Oya overflowing. The Veyangoda Mallahava road is also inundated in Mottuna. The Colombo Katharagama main road is inundated in Valigatta Hambantota. Houses and crops in Moragaha Depella in Gatamanna Hambantota are inundated. By roads and low-lying areas in Atkandura, Nambaratta, Kitulakanda are inundated owing to heavy showers. The Atambagas junction along the Bulat Singhala Moalkava main road and surrounding low-lying areas are also inundated.
Now in more local news, the National Dengue Control Unit said that 39 people had died as a result of dengue so far this year in Sri Lanka. According to the National Dengue Control Unit, a total of 68,174 dengue patients were identified this year. The highest number of cases are reported from the Western Province, and that figure stands at 32,939. Now moving on to more local news. In news from the ICC World Cup 2023, India and Sri Lanka will return to Wankhede after 12 years with contrasting fortunes.
The official ICC Men's Cricket World Cup India 2023.
India and Sri Lanka will meet in match number 33 of the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup today. The match is slated to be played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Sri Lanka won only 2 matches out of their 6 matches and stand at number 7 in the points table. India, currently placed second in the points table, have won all of their 6 matches so far, despite missing Shubman Gill for their first 2 and Hardik Pandya for the last 2. With Hardik unavailable, India are likely to field an unchanged 11. Sri Lanka could consider bringing in Dunit Wellalage for Dhananjay De Silva. The game between India and Sri Lanka will start at 2 p.m. Sri Lanka time, and cricket fans can catch all the action live via the MTV MBC Media Network, the official local broadcast rights holders of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2023. The matches can be viewed live on TV1 and www.sirasatv.lk and on TNL. In addition, the match will also be on air on YFM.
Now on more local news, Sri Lanka's education minister says that it is time to finalize the country's education policy. He was speaking at the launch of the Automobile Industry Council, which was held in Colombo yesterday. The launch of the Automobile Industry Council took place at Colombo yesterday. Speaking at the event, the Minister of Education, Dr. Susil Premajantha, expressed his views.
There are 4 main sectors in the Ministry of Education: general education, the higher education, 17 state universities and other institutions, then technical education and vocational training and skills development, in science, technology and research. All these 4 sectors under the Ministry of Education. The day before yesterday, Honorable Minister also witnessed the subcommittee report of education reforms policy submitted to the Cabinet by His Excellency the President as the Chairman of the committee. And it is referred to the Parliament to be tabled before Sectoral Oversight Committee and the Consultative Committee, and thereafter tabled in Parliament, so ruling party and the opposition party members can debate it, and if amendments are required, so we can do so, and finalize the education policy in the country. So thereafter, the ministers, the government can't change the education policy time to time unless the Parliament approves them. So at the same time, we are going to introduce short-term courses after GC O-levels and A-levels until they get their results, at least 4 months. So we are starting with next year after GC A-levels. The pilot project has been approved by the Cabinet. So IT and English language, the compulsory subjects, and the students can select automobile or electronic or whatever they like. So whether they pass or fail, they can decide their future once they get their results.
Minister of Industries Dr. Ramesh Pathirana too expressed his views at the event.
Now US is a globally challenging and competitive business, but I'm quite proud to say Sri Lankan manufacturers during last 2 years' time have come forward to manufacture different components which are globally connected, which are globally connected to the global value chain. So in that regard, all the institutions that your council is mainly dealing with the educational aspect of it. So it's that educational aspect is mostly transformed and connected to the technology now. I recognize the pivotal role played by the Minister of Industries with the blessings of the Honorable Minister of Education. Technical and Vocational Education Council is taking the lead in that regard. So it's vital that we generate that knowledge, impart that knowledge, transform technology to Sri Lankan students. And we are very hopeful the Sri Lankan youth, that's the best asset of the country, and we are in the process of transforming Sri Lanka's vital and important human resource factor into a valuable human capital factor. In that regard, the council's activities and the educational knowledge that we impart through the council would be worthwhile, and we should support whatever the activities of yours.
The event took place in the presence of several dignitaries.
Divisavya, the second leg of the Divisavya program to provide much needed school books and stationery items to school children in Sri Lanka. 3rd of November, Passara.
Dai Daruwange Anagate Winuwin Divisavya, LOLC Prajasatkaraka Mehevara.
News First with the people.
Now on a headline-making story, 17 Sri Lankans have been permitted to leave Gaza on Thursday the 2nd, said the Gaza Borders and Crossings Authority. According to international media, the Gaza Borders and Crossings Authority has released a list of 596 foreign and dual nationals from 15 countries who will be allowed to leave Gaza on Thursday. The ministry said the people listed would need to get to the crossing by 7 a.m. The 596 foreign and dual nationals on the list are from the following countries, including Sri Lanka, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Bahrain, Mexico, Netherlands, Switzerland and United States. The Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt was opened for the first time on Wednesday the 1st since the Israel-Hamas war erupted. South Korea's spy agency claimed that North Korea is planning to provide assistance to Hamas in its war against Israel.
South Korea's National Intelligence Service told the Parliamentary Intelligence Committee during a closed-door audit session that there have been signs that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ordered officials to come up with measures to provide comprehensive assistance to Palestine, Seoul-based Yonhap news agency reported, citing Yo Sang-bom, a lawmaker from the ruling People Power Party. He was cited as saying that North Korea appears to be trying to take advantage of the Israel-Hamas war in multiple ways. Last week, Israeli ambassador to South Korea, Akiva Tor, said Tel Aviv knew that North Korean-made weapons are in use by Hamas. North Korea's ambassador to the UN, Kim Song, dismissed the report as groundless rumors, accusing Washington of seeking to shift the blame for the war in the Middle East to a third country. The Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights says Israeli attacks on Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp may be disproportionate attacks that could amount to war crimes. Israeli bombardment continued across Gaza overnight, following a day in which the Jabalia refugee camp was hit once again, as well as a bakery. The vicinity of several hospitals was also hit, and the Palestinian death toll in Gaza has now risen to at least 8,805. The Indonesian hospital in Gaza City has been forced to switch to a backup generator after its main generator stalled because of a lack of fuel. The situation at the Al-Shifa hospital has also been described as bleak.
Now on to news overseas. Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi's chief minister and leader of the governing Aam Aadmi Party, is said to be questioned by India's Financial Crimes Agency.
The Enforcement Directorate is investigating an alleged fraud case related to a now-scrapped liquor sale policy in the state. AAP leaders Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh have been arrested in the case. AAP has denied the allegations against its leaders and accused the federal government of political vendetta. But India's governing Bharatiya Janata Party has accused the AAP of indulging in corrupt practices for political gains.
And that's a wrap of your lunchtime news for today. For more on these stories and for more of the very latest, log on to www.newsfirst.lk. Thank you and take care.